Thank you. 4 Southern California tribes are on the brink tonight of one of the largest expansions of gambling in the history of the United States. Among them, the Pechanga tribe in the Temecula Valley. Colleen Williams, my partner on the road tonight in Temecula, has more on that issue. Colleen.
Paul, the voters may get a chance in February to decide whether the Pechanga Resort and Casino, which is really just down the road from here, and 3 other Southern California Indian casinos should get any bigger. The tribes involved are the Pechanga, as you mentioned, Agua Caliente, Morongo, and Siquan. And in a new agreement with the state, those 4 tribes would operate some of the largest casinos in the world, permitting them to have additional slot machines, more than any casinos in Las Vegas. But the casino expansion won't happen unless the voters approve it. And with billions at stake, the opposition is mounting. 2,000 slot machines cover the floors of the Pechanga Casino, but tribal officials say they need more.
When people line 3 or 4 deep and wait an hour or 2 or 3 to play a slot machine, you don't have enough on the floor.
That's why Pechanga and 3 other Southern California tribes renegotiated their individual gambling compacts with the state earlier this year. With these amended agreements, Pechanga and Morongo can add 5,500 new slots. The Agua Caliente and Siquan tribes could expand their slots by 5,000.
Some of the casinos would house 2.5 times the number of slot machines that are in the largest Las Vegas casinos.
Scott McDonald represents opponents of the compacts. They are petitioning to put a referendum on each compact on the February ballot, so voters get final say on gambling expansion, not the legislature.
The people who are working to put this on the ballot include 2 Indian tribes, Paula in northern San Diego County, United Auburn near Sacramento. There are racetracks, Bay Meadows and Hollywood Park, and a labor union, Unite Here, which deals with hotel workers.
According to McDonald, the Hotel Workers Union opposes the compacts because they would change the way workers get union representation if they decide to organize. But it's the expansion of slots that's drawing the most fire. McDonald says the racetracks feel they can't compete with all those slots. The tribes say the compacts simply are not fair.
It plays favoritism by giving 1/3 of the state's gambling pie to these 4 tribes out of 108 in the state.
Pechanga says the compacts don't just benefit the 4 tribes, they benefit every Californian because the casinos must pay the state a percentage of revenues from all the slots.
Our state will get more than $9 billion over the next 2 decades.
Pechanga recently began running this ad to counter the opposition, but even that $9 billion figure is up for debate. The nonpartisan Legislative Analyst Office in Sacramento called that estimate overly optimistic. The LAO estimates annual slot revenues in the tens of millions of dollars, which it says comes to far less than the $9 billion over the life of the compacts. They expire in 2030. Opponents of the compacts have until this Saturday to gather at least 434,000 signatures for each referendum. If they reach that goal, voters will have their say on Election Day, February 5th. Coming up more.